Hey everyone, welcome back to where we dive deep into everything two-wheel. If you're passionate about motorcycles, gear reviews, and all things in between, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any future content. Today, we're going to talk about something that's been making a lot of noise in the motorcycle world, the 2026 Royal Enfield GT 650. We've got a lot to unpack, so let's get into it. Royal Enfield has been building a strong presence in the global motorcycle market over the past decade, particularly with its revival of the Interceptor and Continental GT models in the 650cc category. The 2026 GT 650, however, takes things up a notch. Building on the foundation laid by its predecessors, this bike introduces new tech refinements and an updated design language that is bound to attract both old fans and new riders. Let's start with the design. The GT 650 continues to embody that classic cafe racer charm, but it's clear that Royal Enfield is pushing the envelope with modern touches. The 2026 model comes with some subtle but impactful changes that make it look fresher without losing that retro appeal. Starting with the design, the 2026 Royal Enfield GT 650 still has that iconic, sleek cafe racer look, low slung with minimalist lines. But if you look closely, the updates are clear. The first thing you'll notice is the sharper, more angular fuel tank. The sculpting here feels more dynamic, as if it's ready to leap into the future while keeping a strong connection to its heritage. The revised headlamp is another standout feature, LED with a more refined bezel, giving it a modern twist while still holding onto that classic round shape. And the twin-pod instrumentation? It's now digital, but they've kept the retro-style dials, blending the best of both worlds. The addition of a digital display for the speedometer, trip info, and gear position indicator is a welcome upgrade. And of course you have that unmistakable Continental GT silhouette with the low, slung handlebars and rear-set footpegs. This is a bike that demands to be ridden aggressively and lets everyone around know you're not just out for a casual ride. Under the hood, the 2026 GT 650 still runs on the familiar 648cc parallel twin engine. Now you might be wondering, what's new here? Let's get into the details. First off, the engine now delivers a slightly higher peak power output, sitting at around 50 horsepower at 7,250 RPM. Royal Enfield has also managed to tweak the torque curve, making the bike feel punchier in the lower revs, which is crucial for city riding and everyday usability. The engine retains its characteristically smooth power delivery, but with a refined throttle response. The GT 650 has always been a bike that's been easy to ride at low speeds, but with the 2026 model, there's a noticeable improvement in mid-range performance as well. Whether you're pulling out of a corner or cruising at highway speeds, the engine just feels more responsive and connected to the rider. The exhaust note, too, has been subtly adjusted. It's still that throaty, bass-heavy rumble we love, but there's a new depth to it. It's more refined without losing that visceral cafe racer sound. Now when it comes to suspension, Royal Enfield has partnered with some high-quality suppliers for the 2026 GT 650. You've got fully adjustable front forks and twin shock absorbers in the rear, offering more customization for riders of different sizes and riding styles. While the previous models had a somewhat basic setup, the updated suspension on this bike really improves ride quality, handling, and comfort. Out on the road, the GT 650 feels like a bike that's at home on twisty roads, whether you're in the city or out in the countryside. The chassis is stable and composed, even at higher speeds, but it doesn't lose that playful nature. It's a bike that gives you confidence in corners while still being approachable for newer riders. It's a little more agile than you'd expect from a bike of its size, and that's one of the things that makes it so fun to ride. When it comes to stopping power, Royal Enfield has really stepped it up with the 2026 GT 650. The front gets a 320mm disc paired with a Brembo 4-piston caliper, while the rear features a 240mm disc with a single piston caliper. The braking performance is impressive for a bike in this class, offering smooth and controlled deceleration even under heavy braking. Additionally, the 2026 model is equipped with dual-channel ABS, which gives you that extra peace of mind when you're out on the road. Whether you're on dry, wet, or even dirt roads, the braking system provides a solid, predictable response. And paired with the new suspension, the overall handling of this bike has become sharper, more confident, and precise. One of the biggest upgrades for 2026 comes in the form of technology. The GT 650 now comes with a host of features that were previously either optional or unheard of in this segment. For starters, you now have a fully digital display that's easy to read under all lighting conditions. The display has also been paired with a Bluetooth-enabled system, which allows you to connect your smartphone for navigation, calls, and music through the Royal Enfield mobile app. This means you don't need to take your eyes off the road to check your messages or directions, just focus on the ride. Another exciting feature is the traction control system. Yes, you heard that right, the 2026 GT 650 now comes with an optional traction control system that's not only a great safety feature, but also adds a layer of fun when you push the bike to its limits. The system is subtle, and you likely won't notice it unless you're really going hard in slippery conditions, but it's a welcome addition for sure. Moving on to comfort and ergonomics, Royal Enfield has made sure the GT 650 is comfortable for both short and long rides. The seat is slightly wider and more padded than the previous model, which helps on those longer trips. The handlebar is still low, as you'd expect from a cafe racer, but the reach has been optimized for riders of different heights. Whether you're commuting or taking the bike out for a weekend ride, the GT 650 doesn't tire you out quickly. Of course, this is still a cafe racer at heart, so don't expect the comfort of a cruiser or touring bike. But if you're looking for that perfect balance between sportiness and comfort, Royal Enfield has nailed it with this iteration of the GT 650. Now, let's talk about pricing. One of the things that's always been appealing about Royal Enfield is their pricing strategy, and the 2026 GT 650 is no different. With a starting price of around $7,500 and in the United States, it's still very much in the affordable range for a modern motorcycle that packs this much style, performance, and tech. It's priced similarly to the earlier models, but considering the upgrades, it's offering a lot more bang for your buck. The bike is available in multiple color options, including classic chrome finishes, as well as matte and gloss finishes. So whether you like something loud and flashy or something more understated, there's a color for every taste. So, what's the bottom line? The 2026 Royal Enfield GT 650 is a fantastic evolution of an already great bike. With its updated design, more powerful engine, better suspension, modern tech, and improved handling, this bike feels more refined and enjoyable than ever before. Royal Enfield has clearly listened to feedback from riders and improved on what was already a solid package. Whether you're a seasoned rider looking for a stylish and fun bike, or a new rider wanting something that's easy to handle yet exciting to ride, the 2026 GT 650 could very well be the bike for you. It's a bike that blends the past and the future, creating a truly exciting riding experience. That said, let me know what you think about the 2026 Royal Enfield GT 650 in the comments below. Do you think it's worth the upgrade, or are you more of a fan of the previous generation? As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more.